Hey Internet, a week and a half ago, the federal government said, I want you, clip art, to hire more of these. Now, not robot lunchboxes, that would be strange for the federal government to suggest, but actually robotic process automation, digital labor, intelligent automation. So I wanted to put this video together because A, I thought this was interesting, and B, wanted to share more details on it with the intelligent automation global community. So it came out in the form of a memorandum from no less than the Executive Office of the President, yes, the President of the United States. And the subject line of said memorandum was shifting from low value to high value work. Now this resonates a great deal with what we always say when talking about robotic process automation and intelligent automation, which is that it frees your best people up to do their best work. And so it's an interesting sort of focus and choice. So ultimately, the memorandum calls out right from the start that federal employees devote tens of thousands of hours to low-value compliance activities from rules and requirements that have built up over decades. Now this also resonates with a concept that I often talk about called process sediment, in which in enterprises we work with, you'll find that a lot of the policies, procedures, steps that go on have been sort of laid down over time, oftentimes because, mistakes or errors or other more nefarious things happened, and so they put steps in. And so when you go in to assess and look at a process, a lot of people say this is the way we've always done it, but ultimately it's really a collection of this process sediment. And so one of the key, most important things you can do when looking at digitizing an operation is understanding the layers of process sediment, why they're there, and to the degree that you can, how you can remove them, do away with steps altogether. So the memorandum goes on to ultimately say that the mission here is to reduce the burden of these low-value activities and redirect resources to accomplish mission outcomes that matter most to citizens. So that's great. Again, another objective is citizens and issues that matter most to them. So they're trying to, again, free best people up to do their best work. Now, I'll go into some of the details. This is a 12-page long document. I'll put the link in the video. But ultimately, this memorandum has some guidance. And on the second page, it states that the guidance is for the 24 CFO Act agencies. So I just looked this up. I didn't know. But there are, due to a previous law, a list of 24 agencies, I'll put them up over here, that need to follow the following steps. So the first step was designate a point of contact. Now that makes good sense. It resonates with a lot of what we say around RPA not being about the robot, but being about change management, change control, governance, stakeholder management, so that you can corral, coordinate, communicate the point of initiatives and get them going. And also you incorporate that into your COE designs. So that's what they're calling for here. So that's encouraging. And then the second bullet point is worth spending some time on, so I'll read the whole thing to you. The title is Develop and Implement Strategies for Shifting Resources to High-Value Activities. And it goes as follows. Agencies should develop and implement reforms to eliminate unnecessary or obsolete compliance requirements and reduce the cost of mission support operations. Reforms may include streamlining or eliminating unnecessary reporting requirements, consolidating processes and functions across offices, using shared services, this is interesting, or technologies, eliminating agency-specific guidance or policies that preclude using shared services. So apparently there was a guidance in the past that said that you shouldn't use shared services, so it says you can now. And introducing new technologies such as robotic process automation. Now this is really cool for a few reasons, and I'll sort of summarize quickly. One, it's really interesting that this term and this concept that we in the RPA industry have grown familiar with over the last few years has really bedded in, become commonplace, and dare I say it, almost a household name. So that's interesting. Second, it's interesting because the focus on this is really about removing inefficiencies and increasing ability to address high-value work. That is a responsibility we all have in this community to help enterprises understand that RPA isn't a job reduction mechanism. Yes, sometimes it reduces the amount of labor you might need in a process, but most often, most of us have seen, and there's a lot of writing about this, that the benefits of digitizing operations and processes using RPA is truly to free up your staff and to reduce and remove the waste so you can get on with more high value adding activities. So again, perfect alignment with what we see in the market. And finally, it encourages, I think, and will create a huge amount of interest, more than there already is, which it may be hard to believe, in this concept of RPA, both for private sector and public sector institutions. So I'm looking forward to this one memorandum coming up in discussions and helping sort of distill and understand what the request is from, again, the Executive Office of the President of the United States, and how enterprises, both public and private, can make the most of RPA. So thanks so much for listening. If you've got any questions, please put them in the comments. Love to share. I share a lot of videos on this concept, and it's a really exciting transformation in the era of operational efficiency. So hope you enjoyed this, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks so much.